All right, check it out. What's good? What's going on? Here we are. This is 7 minutes after midnight, August 16th, 2020. And yep, wanted to go live because, hey, we just seen an upset. And it is now the new undisputed welterweight champion, Jessica the Catskiller McCaskill. She is now 9-2, and she is the undisputed welterweight champion, getting the win over Cecilia Braekhus, handing Cecilia Braekhus her first professional loss. And my goodness, it is something that I just, I did call. Yes, I did call that McCaskill would go ahead and get the win, but I was just I just didn't. I'm still shocked about it. Um, and the reason why I'm shocked about it is because I thought that for a good amount of the fight, you did have Breakus do a few things very well. I thought that McCaskill was throwing a lot of big shots, but a lot of those shots were kind of missing, um, and that it wasn't really landing as well as the shots coming from Cecilia Breakus. But the overall activity from McCaskill gave her the majority of the rounds there. They gave her seven rounds. Looked like, I think, what was that? 97, 94, and a 97, 93 score with a 95-95 draw in there. But there was just one thing that I felt that made me lean towards McCaskill getting the advantage in this particular fight, and that was the switch from Cecilia Breakus to have Abel Sanchez be her main trainer. Like, if there's anybody that I don't like as a trainer, I don't care if I cover the sport, right? If there's anybody to channel my Teddy Atlas, if there's anybody that I don't like, that's a trainer, it's that guy Abel Sanchez. See, Abel Sanchez, he just only has one particular style for his fighters, coming forward and throwing power punches and coming straight forward. That's all he chose his fighters, man. Everything. And here, this is once again we see Abel Sanchez, man. Abel Sanchez, right? And Cecilia Breakus, who, under Jonathan Banks, just, fought a good, distance type of fight against many of her opponents. The only ones that kind of gave her a rough time were those that kind of ducked their head down and tried to get to the inside. Like the Kali Reyes fight, to me, kind of pointed out, if you're able to, get a little rough with Cecilia Breakus, you may have a little success. And that was pretty much the plan there for Jessica McCaskill. And she did that from the beginning of the fight, right? Now, what I saw from Cecilia Breakus there was that she basically allowed McCaskill to get to the inside because she wanted to fight on the inside as well. And for me to see that was like, oh, you may have McCaskill being successful here in the early rounds, which did happen. It didn't take until about round 5 or 6 for Cecilia Braekhus to be a little bit more successful using that jab, using the range that she has, right? And in the rounds, 7 and 8, you kind of saw Cecilia Braekhus be, successful there with the jab and throwing shots at range and all of that type of stuff. But you saw Jessica McCaskill just still there, still coming forward, still throwing power shots, uh, against Cecilia Braekhus. So she was not stopping, coming forward. That was her plan. Come forward, throw power shots, try to get Cecilia Braekhus in exchanges. And that was pretty much the plan for that whole 10-round fight. And she was able to execute that and get the win there. So, her plan with Rick Ramos, her trainer, they're able to get it done. Like I said, I felt that she was going to get the win, but the only reason I felt that she was going to get the win, it wasn't because Cecilia Braekhus is pretty much near the end of her time or whatever it is. It's because Cecilia Braekhus had Abel Sanchez as her trainer. Come on, how many times do we have to go through this? Like, Abel Sanchez is not that dude. I'm sorry, he's just not that dude, right? Like, everybody's going Google Gaga over him with Gennady Golovkin, but he's had other fighters where they pretty much do the same thing that Gennady Golovkin does, and they're not successful at all. You had the thing there where uh, that's like, what is that? That's like the second time you had like an undisputed championship fight in there where Abel Sanchez was, training one of the fighters that was in there, and when he had Murat Gasayev there against Alexander Usyk, and Alexander Usyk straight up forced Murat Gasayev because Gasayev only had one style coming forward against Alexander Usyk, and Usyk just said, "Man, I'm gonna just outbox the mess out of you, man. Like, come on, man. Like." And that's how Usyk got that clear decision win for that undisputed cruiserweight championship. Now you see here with Cecilia Braekhus, who was a taller fighter, had the longer reach and everything. But what does Abel Sanchez say? Oh, just go forward, just go straight at her, go forward. Like, how are you gonna hook with a hooker? Basically in boxing terms, you're gonna hook with a hooker. Like, you don't do that, right? I'm almost channeling my Teddy Atlas again. You don't do that. You don't do that. So I just can't. Yeah, I just can't bring myself to believe that you would have someone who became an undisputed welterweight champion, had been the long time reigning champion for the WBC, and kind of fight a fight that she should not fight against a shorter, smaller fighter. Like, I'm like, geez, man. But congratulations to Jessica McCaskill. She is the new undisputed welterweight champion of the world. They were talking about, her potentially facing the winner of the rematch of next week. Well, next week's bout, which is a rematch between Katie Taylor and Delphine Persoon. That will be for the undisputed lightweight championships. And that's going to be a good fight too. That's going to be another good fight. I thought that this one was a good little scrap, but I mean, I did say that I was leaning towards McCaskill, but this was something where I just felt that Braekhus could have won that fight if she would have, fought the fight that she should have fought. But like I said, when you have freaking Abel Sanchez as the trainer, this is what basically happens. Like, come on, like like I'm telling you, man. I'm like, it's it's something where I just felt that that Braekhus could have done a few things there to get the advantage, but did not do that. And I mean, with this being the first loss, and you kind of like heard it, on the zone commentary, like it said, like it was, hints of Cecilia Braekhus saying that she, basically wanted to, retire, and it was like, oh, yeah, I don't know if she gave that type of effort that like she, wanted to check out or anything, but I just felt like it was just not the fight that she should have fought against Jessica McCaskill. But McCaskill got the win, and she is, like I said, the undisputed welterweight champion. And so there you have it. Co-feature bout for that card, man. Uh, you had the thing there with Madrimov. Madrimov, had himself a tough fight. I mean, we were talking with him a couple days before this particular bout that he had there, and the thing there with Eric Walker. Eric Walker was coming in there, pretty much almost like an addition or something like that, and it was a big step up there for Eric Walker, but he was game early in that particular bout, and with that being said, he made he did his thing, had himself a little bit of an effort for those first 4 or 5 rounds or so, but then Madrimov started to get a little bit better there in that particular bout. Of course, you had the whole controversial quote unquote knockdown that happened in the second half of the fight. I mean, Madrimov did hit Eric Walker there with a good shot. Walker was backing up, but the positioning and everything like that, you've even seen it where like he has a few takedowns or a few slips, um, tangling of the feet and all of that. So when Madrimov landed with that shot, his momentum still had him going forward, and he hit um, Walker with the shoulder, and that's what basically took Walker down. And so you can't necessarily score the knockdown, even though Sergio Moore was like, "Oh my God, that was a knockdown! They took away a knockdown." No, they didn't. Sorry, but when you are so off balance that you go forward and you almost go through the ring with Walker like Madrimov did in that particular instance, that's almost like a takedown now. So I mean, it does take away a knockdown, from Madrimov in that instance, but even with him, still getting a thing there in round 12, um, it still just shows that Madrimov is there. Even though we got the win, unanimous decision, and pretty much was scores that were what 8-4. All across the board is pretty much like 8-4. Um, Something like that, or like a 9, actually a 9-3, because you had Machimov deducted a point there for a low blow in that 12th round. So would have been like, a 10-8 round for Machimov. But with that point taken away, that's, 9-8. So still for me a great effort by Eric Walker there in that particular bout. But Islam Majumov goes to 6-0 there with that unanimous decision win. You had, also Nikita Ababi versus Jarvis Williams. Jarvis Williams, gave Ababi a pretty good little scrap there for the 6 rounds. So Ababi still is undefeated, though, had the unanimous decision win. There to go 9-0. You also had Raymond Ford there at featherweight, moving to 6-0 with a unanimous decision win over Eric Manriquez. Manriquez, was there coming into that particular bout with 7 wins, 10 losses, and 1 draw, but has been a tough, pretty much a tough out for anyone that faced him in those 18 bouts that he had before this one. So, even though Raymond Ford was kind of like looking for a knockout, he couldn't basically get that job done. So, Raymond Ford getting that win goes 6-0. You also had Shaquan Giasov getting a KO win over Winston Campos. So Shaquan goes to 10-0 in that particular bout. So that kind of like covers the whole thing with the Braekhus-McCaskill fight. Yeah, like I said, man, Jessica McCaskill is now the undisputed, welterweight champion. So, that's the thing, man. I'm pretty, surprised about that. Over in the Mohegan Sun Casino, you have the thing there with David Benavidez against Romer Alexis Angulo, and we know what the story is with Benavidez. He came in there, man. It was supposed to be, for the WBC super middleweight title in 168. Benavidez came in there almost at 171 pounds. Couldn't cut that weight. So Thailand on the line for him. So that's like the second time that David Benavidez has lost the WBC super middleweight championship without even, losing a fight. And that's crazy to us. But he was able to still, do his thing, be very active with his hands. Romer Alexis Angulo, though, he was just kind of standing up there, like, and I felt like by the time it was the 3rd or 4th round, it was basically target practice for David Benavidez because Angulo, pretty much just had his, hands up or arms up to try to block the punches. He was throwing one punch at a time towards David Benavidez. So I just didn't feel like he, was really in there to try to get something going to rough up David Benavidez. It was just waiting for opportunities, getting into the inside to kind of corner Benavidez to the ropes. And he was, doing a couple things when Benavidez was on the ropes and stuff like that. But when it was, when both fighters were in the center of the ring, you didn't see Angulo really do much at all, and Benavidez just took Alexis Angulo apart there, after those 10 rounds, and it was a stoppage victory there for David Benavidez. So Benavidez, like I said, is still undefeated, 23-0, but doesn't have the WBC super middleweight title again because this time he missed weight. So that's that. Now, oh man, like co-feature bout, man, co-feature bout for the interim WBA lightweight title. Rolando Romero, Jackson Marinez. Man, y'all saw the fight. Man, y'all saw the fight, man. Y'all saw the fight. Yeah, I was just, very, very disappointed. Um, very disappointed there for the result that came down, man. You like it was a unanimous decision for Rolando Romero, man. And if y'all watch the fight, there was no way that Rolando Romero won that particular bout. Felt that Marinez did what he had to do. He basically, outboxed. Uh, he outboxed Romero, man, easily. I mean, Orlando Romero was just there, one punch at a time, pretty much. One punch at a time. While Marinez was countering those punches. Marinez was throwing the jab very well. Marinez was, landing better with the combinations. After the clash of heads that took place, where Romero was cut, Marinez was doing even better, throwing the jab and kind of keeping distance away from Romero. So when those scorecards came down, and I'm like 115, 113, and 116, 112, and I'm like, hey, Marinez got this, man. Marinez got this. And then they read 118, 110, and the winner and still undefeated and the interim WBA lightweight champion, Rolando Romero. I was like, what? Like 10 rounds to 2. 10 rounds. Come on, man. Like, ain't no way you could score 10 rounds. Ain't no way you could score 10 rounds for Rolando Romero in that fight. I'm sorry. You just can't do that. How do you do that? How do you do that? It's like, and that's the type of stuff where boxing fans and those that cover the sport like me pretty much get really disappointed and upset about the sport, because you have stuff like this where you clearly see that one fighter did what he had to do in the ring in order to earn that win, and 3 judges disagreed and saw something different. And one judge said it was a clear win for Rolando Romero. And that was not the case there, man. I just did not feel like it was at all at any point whatsoever, man. That was just completely disappointing there for me to see that Rolando Romero got that particular win and got that decision over Jackson Martinez there. So we're gonna be talking about that a little bit more on the podcast later today, as it is Sunday over in the East Coast. Live 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. And then you had before that the former, I guess, quote unquote, lineal heavyweight championship contender Otto All-In Wallin against Travis Kaufman. Where Otto Wallin was able to execute very well against Travis Kaufman. But in the Fifth round, Travis Kaufman injured his left shoulder, um, forcing the stoppage of the bout. And Adewale gets a technical knockout victory over Travis Kaufman. Uh, his 21st win of his professional career with just that one loss to Tyson Fury. Travis Kaufman falls to 32-4. Um, this is a shoulder injury that Travis Kaufman has dealt with before, and word is that Travis Kaufman, due to this injury, said he is hanging up the gloves there. So this looks to be his his last professional fight there for Travis Kaufman. You had Travis Kaufman who did face Luis Ortiz on December 1st, 2018, but hadn't had a fight since then. Also lost to Amir Mansour. Had a no decision to Chris Arreola as well. But we had those fights there. Now 32 and 4, and pretty much says that he is hanging the gloves up there. So I want to add in president of the Deontay Wilder Fan Club and someone who is fairly happy with the results of one of the fights tonight. Mr. Matthew Brown, who looks to be deep in the boogie down Bronx or something like that. I don't know what's going on out there, but
Oh yeah.
yeah, it was good.
Anytime you can turn down $1 million to fight Clarissa Shields in order to get beat up by a fighter moving up in weight for peanuts, you got to do it, Cecilia Breakers, right? You got to do it.
Well, I'm unsure if you kind of like heard what I was saying at the beginning of this live thing, but like I did predict the win for Jessica McCaskill. But if anyone knows me, they knows why I kind of picked McCaskill, and that's because Cecilia Breakus made the foolish mistake of picking Abel Sanchez as her trainer.
is
Like
he is he the worst big name trainer ever?
ever. I brought up the previous example of when Murat Gatsayev got absolutely schooled by Alexander Usyk for the undisputed cruiserweight titles, and we all know what happened with Gennady Golovkin against El Campeon.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why in the world would you pick Abel Sanchez as a trainer, knowing that he only has one style for his fighters, and that style is the exact style that you should not have against Jessica McCaskill.
Are you
But
telling me that it's a bad idea to block punches with your face?
that is apparently what is taught at the school of Abel Sanchez.
Oh, well, at least it's at high altitude, I guess. Yeah. I'm so glad Breaker's lost. I can't stand her.
Come on, man.
No, no. She is a whiny little bitch. No, I don't want to hear it.
Hey,
I
hey,
don't
oh,
want
come
to
on,
hear it.
man. Come
Oh, I forgot
on,
she's a
man.
woman, so I can't say bitch, but she is. If she was a dude, I would say that she's a pussy ass nigga, and that's why
Oh, come on,
she
man.
was scared of Clarissa Shields. You know it, I know it, everybody knows it. She didn't want it. Take your ass back to Norway or Denmark or Sweden. Where the fuck this bitch is from? Take your ass back to your Nordic country, okay, and get the fuck
What
out
is
of
she
America forever.
originally? No, wasn't she originally from Colombia, man?
don't know where she's from. She had one of them little stupid Swiss chocolate companies on her shorts. One of those flags. I don't know.
Oh God.
Listen, I don't fact check, and I'm not good at
You're
geography.
not
So.
gonna, yeah.
One of those countries,
One
Copenhagen.
of
Is she
them.
from? Where's she
That's
from?
Denmark, man.
Yeah, she's from one of them countries. One of them damn countries, man. Yo, she got her ass whipped though. She was getting battered.
Like, here's my thing. Like, all this time, the way that you fight, you use your jab. You keep your distance against your opponent. But here, you wanted to scrap with a shorter person that doesn't have the reach. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I did channel my Stephen A. Smith. How do you do that? How do you do that? I'm like,
Mm,
come on, man. Like
well,
that was just like the dumbest thing dumbest strategy, but I'm like, come on. But like I
when I
said,
found out
Fable
Braekhus was fighting,
Sanchez.
when I found out she was fighting, I channeled my inner Stephen A. Smith too. I said, "I'm here to tell you, we don't care. We don't care."
I'm here to tell you, we don't care. Oh my goodness.
Justice. Who doesn't see? Who said God isn't real? You know, that was
Oh
God
goodness.
that took them. And you know what pisses me off? Uh, why was she smiling and clapping after she lost? Like what? Yo, is this a year? Like, listen, I'm not trying to sound like the American snob. I
Here we
understand.
go.
No,
Here we
I
go.
understand. Sportsmanship is very important. But bitch, you just lost all four of your titles in the streets of Oklahoma. You should be a little bit more upset that you clapping and shit. Like what? Oh my god, I can't stand Europeans, man. All this shit, man. She
Uh,
sucks. She sucks.
see, at least, well, see, it looks like you're kind of like taking this route since Clarissa Shields wants to take the high road.
No, no, fuck the high road. I know Michelle Obama says when they go low, we go high, but me, I like to crawl in the mud sometimes too.
you want to get in the muck.
Yep, yep, yep. I don't give a
Oh,
shit, man. It's crazy though, but to me, the fight wasn't even really that close. Like I saw some people only had a 6-4 from McCaskill. I thought McCaskill won 7 or 8 rounds.
I
Yeah.
mean, the only like I said, my reasoning is when you fight the opponent's fight when you don't have to expect to lose. And
Now,
the
mhm.
best part about the whole fight, right? So it's the end of round 9,
Yep.
and the fighters go to their corners. And what does Fable Sanchez say? Yo, it's the 8th round, right? It's the 8th or 9th round. What round is it? I'm like, this dude doesn't know what.
And you know what's funny? It's not like there's like a whole big crowd and it's loud there. You might be distracted.
Nothing.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Oh
He
my god, it
sucks.
was yo,
You know,
that
I'm
was
glad Triple G
hilarious.
left him. I'm glad Triple G left him, man. He did the right thing. Abel
Oh
Sanchez sucks, man.
yo.
Fucking sucks.
Oh
He should
man.
have stayed retired.
Yo. That was
Oh man. But
was just horrible.
before the fight, Eddie Hearn was talking about how we're gonna have Braekhus versus Katie Taylor next. If Katie Taylor wins against Purcell in the rematch, well, what's next now? Do we get a rematch between McCaskill and
Oh
Katie
yeah, yeah.
Taylor?
Oh yeah. They're talking about this is Final Four, and they want to channel the college basketball, and try to have like the winners face each other. Like, why not have an undisputed champion versus an undisputed champion there? Like, come on, it's.
Now, you don't think they're gonna try to force McCaskill to give Braekhus a rematch?
I don't think Braekhus wants to have a rematch though.
She
That's the
needs to
thing.
retire.
I think she's like, you know what? I've done everything I needed to do. Blah 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 blah. I'm
Yeah.
38 years old.
And to be honest with you, I've never been impressed with her. You know, I haven't. I've never been impressed with her. Who gives
Well,
a fuck about Cecilia Braekhus?
oh come on, man.
Who gives
Like
a
I
fuck
said,
about her?
uh, I
Is her
think I
name
think I think
Braekhus or Braekhus or Brackus?
brackets.
And what is
No,
that little
listen,
what is that little AE symbol in the middle of her name? You know,
that's
everything about her pisses me off. Like,
no. You know what? Having her be part of be promoted by Tom Loeffler.
and he's trash. He's
See?
trash.
And then
Yo,
you have Fable Sanchez.
he is so trash. You know what's funny? Mark Taffet, who works for Clarissa Shields, he heard Cecilia Braekhus' interview where she said, "Oh, they expected me to fight for peanuts," and then and then he was like, "Yo, if $1 million is peanuts, then yes, I'll offer you peanuts." She was like, "I didn't get no $1 million offer." He said, "Well, you need to talk to Tom Loeffler because I made the offer to Tom Loeffler. What happened?" Who knows, man? Maybe Tom Loeffler too
I'm telling you,
busy.
Tom Laughlin, man.
Yeah, he's too busy taking 45% like they did to Triple G. Yeah,
Like, come on, this dude. Oh God, I
he
just
he
can't
he,
handle
he probably told Breakers, yeah, they got 50,000 for you, and he
it.
about to keep the rest of the money.
Yeah, keep the rest of the money and run with it. You
Yeah,
know,
that's crazy.
unbelievable. Now,
Speaking of 50,000, did you see that story on Alexander Vosdick?
nah.
So apparently, I'm gonna say, even though they didn't say, I think this is the real reason he retired. Um, his next fight, uh, Top Rank was only gonna pay him $50,000.
Well, I mean, we know what they tried to do there with Zerto Ramirez.
Yeah, but
So
50,000
for 50, nah, hey,
for
that's
a former
yo,
champion?
that's worse than the second fight between Kovalev and Ward.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I'm like, gee,
Yo, Bob Arum knows how to fuck people, man.
hey,
Like,
he's
this
been
is
in the game
crazy.
for that many years, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
yo, what Jamel Herring, you better watch out, man. I mean, you got this thing. I know he got this thing with Jonathan Nakendo coming up, and then he's supposed to
And
fight Carl
and
Frampton.
Jamal
And
Herron, who gives a fuck about that fight too? Why is he still fighting Jonathan Okendo? Like,
oh man,
even listen, Dr. Fauci, God, everyone's trying to tell you we don't care about this fight. They giving him COVID every single time this fight is about to
oh
happen.
come
We
on,
we don't
come on,
we don't care. We
oh,
don't care.
you
Why
don't
not just go?
care.
Why not just go straight into the Frampton fight? I don't get it.
Yeah, maybe they promised that. Maybe they promised that fight and get him, so get him the money and all of that stuff. So I
Yeah,
don't.
but they're talking about Frampton in November, so he's
Yeah,
gonna fight in September and then have that short turnaround. I
that's a
feel
couple
like
weeks.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's being set up to lose. If you ask me,
Mhm.
that's a very short turnaround.
Yeah, it's a short turnaround, but he ain't gonna lose to Frampton, man. He ain't gonna lose to Frampton. He's like, you know what?
Frampton
Let me
looked
just
like
get this.
shit today.
Yeah, man. Like, come on.
Holy shit. shit. He is washed up. He is washed.
And
Yo, he is
I
washed.
talked to him. I talked to him the other day, and he was like,
I
"Oh,
saw
you know,
that.
I
I
don't
didn't
have
know you.
to."
How'd that come about?
Oh well, I mean, they had the whole thing with the you know, like conference call thing or whatnot, Zoom thing.
Okay.
So you know, got that link going, and you know, a few people jumped in and all of that. But yeah, he was like,
How many
"Oh,
questions did Dan Raphael ask?
oh, Dan Raphael wasn't on there. It was
Uh,
it
uh,
was who was on there that got in it was Jake Donovan, I think it was, but he
that's my
only had
guy.
like a couple. He only had a couple
I
questions
love
for
Jake
me
Donovan.
anyway.
He's one of the best reporters in boxing,
You know,
besides you, of course.
he had a couple questions in there. Gail was in there. There was like some other guy from Fight
But
Hub. No,
what
not
did Frampton have to say when you spoke to him?
Well, I got like the clip on the YouTube channel. He was like, "Oh, you know, I don't really have to lose that much weight for this particular fight. All I had to lose was like, 5 pounds or 8 pounds. So I ain't have to go down to 130 for this fight." And he says, "Oh, I think that Jamel Herring has to kill himself to make weight, so he's gonna have an issue here facing me at 130 because if he has to." Do what he does at his height to make weight. I was like, nah, man. Like Jamel Herring is, he's gonna be okay, bro. Like
Listen,
he'll easily make weight.
if that Carl Frampton that showed up today shows up against Jamel Herring, he's getting knocked the fuck out.
I
I'll tell you that right now.
think he'll get stopped. He'll get stopped, man.
Yeah,
Oh man,
honestly, today the boxing cards were not very entertaining. They all sucked, if you ask me.
man, it was. I mean, all the fights that we saw was like, yeah. There was no like real good like knockouts in there.
Yeah, nothing that good.
So and then Romero promising a knockout, but actually got schooled and still got the decision. I was like, come on,
Oh,
man,
you
that
thought he lost?
yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I dozed off during the fight. That fight was trash.
Like I
I
said,
dozed off.
how can you doze off? I'm sorry, I was almost laughing when Romero was like, bam, bam, bam,
Yo, yeah,
bam,
he sounds like a dog. He's like, what the hell?
bam, 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 bam.
Like, is it racist to say he sound like a Chihuahua? I know he's Spanish, so maybe I shouldn't say
Oh,
Chihuahua. But
no,
he did sound like a
yo,
little dog.
yeah, he did. He did. I was
He
like, come on, man.
every
Yeah,
punch.
every single punch, man. I was like, oh boy, yo. But
Yeah.
it was, and I just felt like, you know, they just took it away from Mourinho's, man. Mourinho's was, I thought he was like tagging him with the jab. Was also like getting in with a couple power shots. He didn't allow Romero to corner him.
What the punch stats look like at the end?
Shoot, I thought it was man, I forgot because in PBC really don't send that much stuff out.
Yeah.
So.
Cause I know that the announcers felt like Marinez was winning. So
Yeah,
I do wonder if that had an influence on how people at home were viewing the fight. Because honestly, I wasn't impressed with Marinez either. I thought it was just a sloppy fight. I thought both guys were barely landing.
yeah. Probably could have seemed like that, but I just felt that Mourinho's was doing at least a better job of what was actually happening in the ring. So
Yeah, and Romero had the nerve to say he wants any one of the champions. So like, what, bro? Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I
that was
was like, oh, this guy's lost his fucking mind.
yeah.
He mentioned Tank. He
Yes, he
mentioned,
did. He
listen,
did.
I don't think he understands that the way he fought, that Tank fight is off the table.
Oh yeah, that's
That
all.
ain't never happening.
No, it ain't. But you know what though? The lack of activity that he was having in this particular fight almost reminded me of Tank in a couple fights. To be honest.
Yeah, well, at least Tank is accurate
Yeah,
with
at least
power
he
punching.
is. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
This
Yeah, that
guy,
was
Raleigh Romero, maybe that's why he barks like a dog. His name is Rolly, like puppy dog pals. I don't know, man.
bad.
I don't know.
Roly.
He was trash. He was
Oh,
trash. Yeah, Leonard Ellaby, you're a good promoter. I like you, Leonard Ellaby, but you hyped this motherfucker up to the high heavens,
yes,
and
yes,
he was shit.
he is
He was
trash in
shit.
that
I was
final
like,
fight.
yo, this guy.
He was trash.
Listen, he better lose his membership to the Mayweather gym because I don't think they want that kind of representation. That was horrible.
Yeah, that was just like, man, I don't know how you make it, have him be like this. Like to me, that was a an example of where you would have someone like have that type of favoritism. But my
Yeah.
goodness, I don't know, man.
What'd you think about how my guy, the real lineal heavyweight champion, Otto Wallin looked?
All in.
Yeah,
He was pretty much executing pretty well in this fight, and it kind of like made me think he could possibly. Well, he did say that he wanted to fight one more time before the end of the year, but I would like
yeah.
to see against either Andy Ruiz
No,
or your boy.
Luis Ortiz
No, not Luis Ortiz.
or Charles Martin? No, he's not fighting Konaki. Come on, no,
I,
no, 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 no. I don't want to see him against Konaki. No, 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 no. I
like
want to see
Luis
him against
Ortiz,
Prince
come
Charles
on.
Martin.
Yeah, Prince Charles Martin, that would be good. But if Kanaki doesn't have that rematch against uh that would be a fight though. I would like
Hellenius.
that. Yes, Wallen
Nah.
versus Hellenius. But if Hellenius is able to get a good shot on Wallen, I don't know. He could get.
Wallen's tough.
Yeah, he is tough, but
I
uh,
like him. He's a dirty fighter. I like that.
yeah,
He is a
I
dirty
know.
fighter. Oh,
Yeah,
yo,
of course.
he is a dirty fighter. I was like, wow, I like this guy.
Yeah, like
He's
that.
pulling you down on your neck and then trying to uppercut
Yeah,
you.
and then uppercut you. Bah!
Yeah, I liked when he dug into Fury's eye. I was like, yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
my
That's
kind of
what we
fighter.
need. That's what we need.
Yeah, yeah. Don't be like no punk ass bitch like Cecilia Breakus. You need to go for it.
Oh,
You
come
gotta do what you gotta
on.
do. You gotta fight dirty. You gotta fight dirty. It is what it
Dirty
is.
it is.
Yeah, one man's dirty is another man's gamesmanship. You
Yeah.
know, like come on, man.
Oh, jeez, man. That's something there for Wallen. I felt like he was gonna win anyway, but for those rounds that he was fighting, he did do really well.
Yeah,
Uh,
Kaufman is trash, by the way.
well, it's a wrap for him.
He is
He had
trash.
his injury, so with that injury, he kind of says like, I'm hanging it up, man," because he re-injured his shoulder. So
He could have hung it up before he got in the ring. He is
yeah,
trash.
it's true. Because he hadn't been in the ring since since that fight on December 1st. Anyways,
Yeah. And then
uh,
he got COVID. He was hit
yeah,
or miss with that. I don't know,
yeah.
man. Maybe he didn't really get COVID. Maybe he was one of those pedophiles that they be locking up on Facebook. Hey,
Oh,
listen. Every time a celebrity gets COVID, I assume they're a pedophile and then they're on like house arrest or something like that. I
yeah,
don't
house
know.
arrest, buddy.
I don't
Yeah,
know,
man.
man.
You gotta investigate him, man. Investigate him.
He wasn't really doing shit before he hurt his shoulder anyway. So
Yeah, that's the thing. He wasn't.
um,
So He was gonna
But
lose.
Wallen, it's all right.
He's cool and all that. So we'll see what he does here in the in the future, man. So I'm
Yeah,
kind of
I hope he stays with PBC.
oh
You
we
never
yeah.
know.
Well, the thing is, like, where else is he gonna go other than Top Rank? I mean, those are
That's true.
that we have, the heavyweights out there. So um, I'm kind of looking ahead to see what he can do. But we have to talk to our boy once again, or I might have to pay him a visit since he still hasn't said anything about having Clarissa Shields on the show. Uh,
Yeah,
so
it's all right. We don't need to talk to Clarissa no more. Breakthrough's lost. There's no reason to talk to her either. No reason to talk to her either.
there's
You
no
know?
there's no more meaningful fights left for
Yeah, it's over for that.
for Clarissa.
It's over for that.
Oh
Sorry
man.
about your luck, but it's over for that. Because at the end of the day, the only people that's gonna care about her versus Raquel Miller, just be you, Charles, and Terrell. That's it.
That's it.
Nobody cares. Nobody like respect to Raquel Miller, respect to every fighter. Nobody cares about her. Nobody's thinking about her.
Oh,
You
come
know,
on, man.
who's thinking of her? When was the last time you heard somebody mention Raquel Miller and it wasn't one of us?
She was
Nobody
on some
cares.
type of show, so she was on one
Yeah.
show, but I gotta find out if there was anything else. So, oh man,
And what's up with your girl Tika Hemingway?
oh she putting in work. She had the thing where she was where she's like featured in was it Pittsburgh or something like that. So
Yeah,
she's like
I did see her on Instagram like working out, and she hits hard. I
yeah
never knew that. She a heavy hitter.
yeah.
She's a heavy hitter, but nobody cares about her either. And
Uh,
she's not really. No, it's true. Nobody cares about her, and she's not really doing anything um, with her social media. She said she was going to become more active on Twitter and blah blah. She hasn't done any of that. Who's like managing these people?
and I don't know. She's posting on Facebook,
Yeah,
but
well, nobody cares about Facebook.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
I never heard somebody say, "Oh, he
and
has 1 million Facebook followers." Nobody says
same
that.
Facebook followers,
Yeah,
or 5,000
she's a
plus
good-looking
Facebook
girl,
friends.
and she kind of thick, so she should be, get out there
Yeah,
more. The fellas would like her.
yeah,
And she has a cool name. I like that name, Tika Hemingway. It sounds official.
yeah. But
What are you gonna
yeah,
do?
like
I
I
feel bad for Clarissa.
said, she
She ain't got
now
shit
all
going
she
on.
has left is to see if she can get that fight with Ali. But we know that fight's not gonna happen either.
That's
So
not gonna happen. Well, maybe they could dig up Christina Hammer for a rematch.
it's in the hammer for rematch,
Yeah,
or
let's do that.
have her fight have her fight my girl, man.
Oh, who?
uh, the hip hop diva.
Oh no! Come on!
Nah, that's not gonna happen either.
Didn't she beat her already?
Yeah, but that was the first fight, and now it looks like they like tag team partners or something. So yeah, I don't see
Yeah.
that fight happening. Oh, oh boy.
Why don't she
Well,
fight Jimenez?
oh, she'll beat the crap out of Jimenez.
I don't know about that. That's a big nigga. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Gotta figure out what way she gonna be coming into the fight at. I don't know.
168.
Yeah. It might be 175 or something.
Victor
Uh,
Martel might beat her ass. You never know.
hey, I'm saying either that or that Sergio Martinez. I mean, see, oh well, man. Yo, I'll be talking more about this on the podcast, man.
I can't
Yo,
wait for that. I saw you got Freeway Ricky Ross on there.
yeah, but that's late night though, you know. So apparently he has a schedule to follow, so that won't be.
Schedule. What? He's still on house arrest? What do you mean? Is his schedule to follow?
No, man, he's not, yo.
He got some packs to move. What's going on? He's
Yeah, I don't
still.
know what's going on, man. I don't know if he ain't moving nothing
Yeah, right. Yeah,
right now.
right.
Okay,
Hey,
come
listen,
on, man.
listen. You could buy this new. I'm just a businessman trying to help the world act. I ain't falling for that shit.
Oh,
Come on,
come
man.
on,
Come
yo.
on, man. I ain't falling for that.
Hey, he said like, yo, this was one of those rumors that he could be working with MTK Global.
Oh my God. Imagine that. Imagine that.
Oh, oh God, yo. Oh no. Oh
Yeah,
no.
apparently MTK Global is trying to move into the American market. Good
Yeah,
luck with that.
yeah. Yeah.
You signed Jojo Diaz. Woohoo! Like, okay. Nobody gives a shit about Jojo Diaz. Like, what it let's see, I don't understand these fucking Europeans, man. They come over here, oh, we're gonna crack America. And who does Eddie Hearn sign? Demetrius Andrade. Fucking Devin Haney, Anthony Sims. Nobody gives a fuck about these guys. And now look what's going on at the zone. Because they got a bunch of fighters that nobody care about. The one
Oh,
fighter that people do care about, they harassing him. Whatever, man.
oh, jeez, man.
Bunch of fighters nobody care about.
But we gotta care about these folks, man. We gotta get this sport of boxing up, man.
Nah, fuck that. Fuck that. I don't give a fuck about none of these guys. Who Andrade fighting next? Nobody knows. Devin Haney, he's gonna fight Gamboa?
Boy,
Come on,
Gamboa,
man.
man, Gamboa.
Come
Oh,
on, man.
shoot, who is Crawford gonna fight? Because he certainly ain't gonna be fighting Keith Thurman, and he's
Yeah.
fighting Kell Brook. And
Bomac is such a bitch for that, but whatever. Whatever. I'm telling you, this dude's fighting Chris Van Eerden. He's
Chris
fighting
Van Eerden,
Luis Collazo,
yeah,
Josecito Lopez,
yo, he's
somebody
gonna
like that.
pass, man.
But I don't want to hear about people ducking Crawford. I don't want to hear it. I
Oh
don't
well,
want to hear it.
you gotta talk to that other Terrell
Oh, you talking about
Bushido.
oh my God, this guy, the karate black man, right? The karate black dude. He's on the group chat, right?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he's like a Wu-Tang motherfucker, man. He really into that like karate shit.
Karate, yeah.
Yeah, man. It's a little weird, but shout out to him.
Yeah, man. Right.
Bushido boxing.
But yeah, all right. I'm gonna get ready for that show, man. At 7:30, and then once again at 11 p.m. doubleheader Boxing Source Radio show. We gonna be back in it, but for now, we out, man. Peace.
We out. Peace.